Texas Empowerment Academy is now enrolling K through 12 for the 2021 to 2022 school year. Enroll now at texasempowerment.org. For more information, please contact enroll@txea.org, or you can call us at 512-928-0118. That's again, 512-928-0118. Join now to become a mighty Panther. Hey everybody, this is another episode of Panther Talk. All right. So, like I say, all my podcast, and I'm gonna continue to say it. We have another special guest here with us to talk about, their things and their experience and stuff like that. I'm gonna give a small introduction, on this, and you can correct me on stuff
yes,
during the podcast.
Yes, sir. No problem.
during the cast. Okay. I met this brother, 9 years ago?
Yeah, just about 8 or 9.
9 years ago. We have been working together for that long.
Absolutely.
And when we met him, we was in. Let's just say this: at that time, we was in a time of crisis here at Texas Empowerment, dealing with our theater department at the time. And this guy came in at the last minute, and as you see, and how they say, Nolan has a way to convince people to stay.
That's right.
in his ways.
Absolutely.
He know what I'm talking about, and he's been there ever since.
Absolutely.
We've been there since.
No doubt.
He's been acting as far as I know, pretty much all of his life.
Yeah, pretty much started at 12.
Yeah,
age 12.
That's pretty much. We're not gonna tell him his age, but like that. But he looking young though.
I appreciate it.
He looking young though, man. But yes. Also, I say Austin alumni.
Yeah.
And and also inducted into the Theater Hall of Fame.
The Austin Arts Hall of Fame. Yeah, Critics Hall of Fame. So.
Yeah, so
No
give
doubt.
it up. So like I said, the one thing I like about this, like I said, I try to and grew up here on the east side.
Grew up in the east side.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Springdale Garden.
See that? That's what I'm saying. This what makes it even better. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Mr. Zell Miller the third.
I
right?
appreciate it, man.
The third.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So, as I tell all my the people that comes on, and if you've seen the podcast, the first question I ask everybody, which is funny, you just like I had to do it too. When they did me, name an event or something in your life that went horribly wrong, and it was your fault.
Okay.
Now, for me, I know it took me an hour to figure it out. I had so many on my end. I was like, man. So,
That's crazy. I haven't had too many failures, man. That was totally my fault. I will probably say, okay. Well, it wasn't my event, but this was totally my fault. Well,
okay.
8th grade, Halloween dance, Dobie Middle School, and I was in 7th grade. 7th grade, Halloween dance, Dobie Middle School, and I was in love with this girl, and we're going to leave her name blank. And I just knew that she was supposed to be at the dance with me, even though I didn't ask her. And so when I went over, she was dancing with another dude, and the song, the time, 777-9311 was playing. And so I, to get her attention, started to perform the song. And everybody started gathering around us and looking at us. And then after the song was over, she was like, why you embarrass me? I was like, I thought we were here together. And so that was about it, man.
So you did the whole thing like, baby.
I did the whole thing. I had movement, man. I was getting it, man.
Oh man, then out of all that, she was like, nah.
Yeah, you embarrassed me. So yeah, that was horrible. Absolutely. At Dobie Middle School.
Did anybody take a picture of that?
I don't know, man. Probably people got that out there, man. You know what I mean?
Was you fly?
I was fly, absolutely. Jerry curl and everything, brother.
Oh man, you had the curl and everything. Oh man.
No doubt.
Yeah, you know, back at home in Memphis, you know, folks, brothers still wearing that. Like, now, like, dude, that's like the standard. It's like Jerry Curl and gold grills. You
Jerry Curl, man, with the pink lotion.
Oh, yeah.
And you pick the rod, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So we gotta start this. So you actually had a Jerry Curl.
I had a Jerry Curl for a long time, brother. I ain't even gonna lie, no doubt.
Oh, we gotta bring up those pictures, man. We gotta have them pictures somewhere. Even I gotta just keep it in my chamber, if anything, man. I gotta see this. How long was it like? Juicy?
It was juicy. It got down to probably my shoulder, but the main thing was, man, like, you know, I am probably one of the biggest Prince fans walking the planet. Okay. And so, you know, in 8th grade, man, that's when he came out with Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had the swoop, and then I peroxided it. So it was like light brown.
Oh, man. This podcast is about to be hilarious, y'all.
And I would try to, like, you know what I'm saying? I try to emulate them, you know what I mean? So I try to talk to people with a deep voice. And the people would come up to me and be like, yo, Zell, what's going on? And I try to be, you know, Prince-like. So I'd be like, they'd be like, Zell, what's up? I'd be like, when the moon eclipses the sun, then you will know. Then I just walk off.
Oh, man. This.
I was out there, man.
Who ever knew?
No
so
doubt.
You know the students gonna be talking about
it.
That's
okay.
They gonna
be good. I have no shame, man.
They gonna be on it. Cause they do watch this a lot.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, we saw something. So be prepared. I'm just letting you know
It's
the
all
chamber
good,
load. They
man.
about to come.
It's all good. I have no shame, man.
I got one more thing and I'll be done with the Jerry Curl. Was it like juicy, like Coming to America? You know how?
Nah, it wasn't juicy like that, man.
You know how when they sit on the couch, they all got up.
But I did have to sleep with the shower thing on, so you know we get on the pillowcase, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man. You said how long you had that?
Man, I had that probably. I probably started getting Jerry's in 6th grade up until 10th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was real.
Yeah, it was real.
It was real.
It was real. And then I think around 10th grade is when my best friend, my man named Sonny, got me into hip hop and KRS-One, man, and BDP.
Okay.
And so I started listening to that, man, and then it just kind of just blew my mind, man. You know what I mean? And so, and Jerry's had to go.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I feel you.
No doubt.
So let's start back. So we pretty much still in your childhood and things like that going. So if I'm correct, you know, like we were saying earlier, born and raised here in Austin.
Wasn't born here. I was born in Mansfield, Ohio.
Oh.
And I lived in Mansfield probably till I was a year and a half, 2. And then my parents came back. My mom is from Bastrop.
Oh.
And so my pops is from Brownsville, Tennessee. Okay. And so her family went up to Mansfield to work. And so that's how my pops met my mom. And so my mom came back with me. So I pretty much grew up here. So you know, we did the project rounds, did the different projects, but we settled up in Springdale Garden and lived in Springdale Garden probably from 3 to 6. And then we moved to North Austin, and I started going to Barrington Elementary, where I was one of 5 black kids.
Wow. Yeah, that's how they usually work.
And the first day at Barrington, man, you know, we out on the playground in 3rd grade. 3 white boys walked over and was like, "We want to play Roots. You run, slave." And so when I get to popping them in the eye, that's how was my introduction to Barrington Elementary, man.
Yeah. That makes a good one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So then I went to Barrington, then I went to Dobie, and I graduated from Reagan High School.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into
Yes,
next.
sir.
To the Reagan. So you said you was doing theater at the age of 12.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what got you into theater, and what made it kind of? And I guess this is a 2-part question.
Mm-hmm.
What got you in theater, and when did it get to a point where it was like, theater, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. So my brother, I have two big brothers. One named Keith and one named Tony. I'm closer.
Shout out to them, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm closer to Tony. So when Tony was at Dobie, he was in journalism, and he would bring home a camera, and he had his notepad. I'm like, oh man, that's dope, man. I want to do that. Yeah. So when we would do our elective sheets in 6th grade, I signed up for journalism, and then my mom, because she got foresight, my mom was like, you need to put drama down as your second, because you got a big mouth, you got a really good memory, right?
Mama knows.
Absolutely. So put drama down. First day of school, I give my choice sheet back. No journalism. You in drama. So this white man named Jerry Miller, shout out to Mr. Miller, rest in peace. Every day, man, I was like, I don't want to be in your class. I just give me the F. I'm not going to say nothing. I want to be in journalism. I don't want to be here. I sit in the back. He put stuff on my desk. I knock it off. I'm like, I'll take the F, man. I'll take the F. I don't want to be here. So he would do parody plays. So we were doing this parody vampire play.
Yeah.
So he's like, he cast it or whatever. And he's like, you're going to sit next to me because, I want to make sure, you're not warming around or whatever, because we were here rehearsing. So at that time, before my children, I had a photographic memory. So I literally could read something, be done with it. So I'm sitting next to him, so I know all the blocking, I know all the lines, and so somebody got sick. And so he came to me and he said, Zell, look, if you could step in, he's like, I know you know the lines, so I hear you saying them. If you can step in and help us get this play done, I will do whatever I can to get you into journalism. Bet. So I do the play, and then, so we perform for all grades or whatever. So then the 8th grade girls thought I was cute, like a little pet. So the next day I come in, they're like hugging me, sitting me on their lap, kissing me on my cheek, right? So then now the 8th grade dudes want to hang with me because I'm with all the 8th grade girls. Now the 7th grade girls are getting jealous because the 8th grade girls in this whole thing. So I was like, oh, so theater brings you girls. I might want to stick in theater for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So then 8th grade comes, and they're doing a Raising the Sun at Capital City Playhouse. And the child, Travis, gets sick, gets chickenpox. So they do this search. So I go audition, and I get the role. And not only am I meeting these amazing people that I'm in this cast with, but I'm like, it's like a, crazy, this is a bigger production I've ever seen. It's got lights, and you know what I mean? I'm getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And so I just fell in love with it. And I spent the bulk of my teenage years at Capital City Playhouse. So whether I was in a production or sitting in production meetings or messing with light guys, messing with sound guys, watching do choreography. And I learned the business of theater at Capital City Playhouse. And that is when I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to be an actor. So absolutely.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So now we got the story here.
No doubt.
I know a lot of the students was wondering about that.
Oh, absolutely. And then along the way, man, I veered off. I got a band because, of course, I'm still trying to be Prince, right? So I got a band. I had a band we called the New Breed, you know what I mean? And I'm writing songs and working with drum machines and recording. And I just knew I was going to be the Prince of my generation. And at some point, I listened to my voice and was like, yo, you can't sing, dog.
The reality came in. You really can't sing.
That ain't gonna work for you, brother. You gotta find something else. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So and then I started writing, and so and that sent me in a whole nother level.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that make a lot of sense right there.
No doubt.
But yeah, so you actually in the band. So you were actually the lead singer.
I was the lead singer. Yeah.
So did you have the guitar since you were Prince?
Nah. My brother was the guitar player. Like I couldn't play the guitar, but I could write the songs. Right?
Okay, so you really were doing the behind the scenes.
I was behind the scenes. Yeah, I was actually, man, like programming drum machines and messing with keyboards, and like my brother was the real musician, man. He taught himself how to play. He literally taught himself how to play. We shared a room, so he taught himself how to play. By watching Jimi Hendrix play the Star Spangled Banner. He literally would pause the videotape, play the note, pause it, play the note, pause it, and then go back and then my brother's a genius, man. He's amazing. And so watching him do that, so then when he would come home, I would have all these songs ideas. So I'm like, I think the bass line sounds like this, but I don't know nothing about notes. And he'd be like, oh, that's a B. Oh, okay, what if we do this B to this? Okay, let me do it like that, right? And I'm like, boom. So that I would like, sketch it out and I'll write the words. And so that's always been my thing, man, of writing words. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, which actually, there was a question I had later on down, but this actually goes right into it now.
Yeah.
I noticed there was times where when we was in one of the coolest time ever, that one time we was doing the show here. I think we was doing like the Lights On program or something, and we was sitting there and we was waiting on an act to get in.
Yes.
And you was like, you came to me. It was like, yo, when the next act? And I was like, yeah, they coming, man. They doing something. And he was like, we ain't got time. We were like, yeah, we don't. But you like, what we gonna do? You like, don't forget it. I just spit a poem. You just came in and it was like I had the mic sitting there. You just grabbed it, went up there, said what you had to do, got a straight standing ovation. And the only thing I was saying in the back of my mind, man, this other act better be really good, because if it's not, it's gonna be really, it's gonna look really bad on them.
That's what's
up. I was, in my head thinking, but so. Was this the same time during this time where did that also help you? Cause I mean, when you did that spoken word with the lyrics and things like that, was that something that you was already doing because of that? So it was just, is it like basically what I'm saying? This is a natural form, where everything comes together with the lyrics, rhyme lyrics, and all that.
So it's interesting that once I stopped writing songs, I couldn't rhyme anymore. And as much as I loved hip hop. Like, I love the energy of hip hop, but I couldn't write rhymes. So, but I would write these thoughts. And so I got into the poetry scene once I graduated high school. And there was a group called Catfish Poetry Society. Shout out to Evelyn Martin Anderson and Sharon Bridgeford and the whole team. And so I just would go, and I was the youngest. So I would sit, we would sit in a circle. They would have a topic, and they would go around the circle. And if you had something on the topic, you read. If you didn't, you wait. Then you spit. And so I spit my little thing,
Yeah.
Now this is coming from somebody who was told you can't write by my English teachers at Reagan High School. So I hope she fell down a flight of steps, because she know who she is. Yeah. And so I hope you fell down a flight of steps. But so I had all these thoughts, man. And so the poetry started to go, and then I stumbled into slam poetry.
Yeah.
And so watching them do it, and I was like, oh, I could do this. And so I just approached it like an MC. Like, I want to be an MC, man. If I could be anything in the world, I would be an MC, man.
It's the same thing with me. I would tell my, kind of like your reality when you were talking about I can't sing. I promise you, man, I always wish I can sing.
That's
man.
What's up.
I used to think I was a player back then.
That's
man.
what's up.
And I always used to say, man, if I could sing, my game would go up 10%, 10 to 15% strong.
Absolutely.
I feel like I was already at 85 at the time. I'm like, if I get that 10, 15, man, I'm at a 95% of spin game. I used to think I was a player, so don't, that's just the way I just used to think.
That's what's
stuff.
up,
so,
man. Yeah.
That actually makes sense, man. Like, how all that worked.
It all came together, man. I always say that, like, there was a plan laid out for me. And so I just kept picking up little steps along the way. And so the writing poetry led to creating monologues, led to creating entire shows. So that was the progression of it. So, absolutely.
All right. So you get to Reagan.
Yep.
You quite naturally, are you in the theater department?
I'm in the theater department, and I'm still doing community theater.
Yeah. Doing all that. You graduate.
Yep.
What's the next move?
So I graduate, man, and my whole thing was I'm gonna be the next Prince. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was it. That was the plan. And so my brother moved to Arizona following a woman. Yeah. And this.
Okay.
So that set my music career, because that was my music, right?
Yeah.
And so I wound up going to business school, and then I just stopped acting. And so this lady named Vicky Boone, man, I was at HEB, and I'm writing a check, and the teller says, Zell, that's a cool name. And this white woman, 2 people down, goes, Zell Miller? And like moves people like, I've been looking for you, right? So I'm like, who are you? Like, what's happening? So she's like, no, there's this play. I've been looking for you. Can you come read? Blah, blah, blah. So I go read, and I get cast, and then I started acting again. And so her company was called Frontera Productions, and they created something called Frontera Fest. And so basically, it's like you pay $35, you get 25 minutes to do whatever. So an act doesn't show up. It's like my whole life has been like somebody got sick, something didn't happen. You got to be ready for the moment. So I wrote a piece called Cell Therapy off the Goody Mob song. And so I wrote this one-man little 25-minute thing, and then I won like Best of the Week. And so I was like, oh, I didn't think of myself as a playwright. So then Vicky was like, hey, why don't you create something longer and we'll produce it as a top of the week show. So I wrote a show called MADIZM, because I'm into hip hop, Madism. And I made it an acronym. So it was Murdering Angry Demons in Zell's Mind. And so I created this whole
Oh, that sounds cool. Come on.
This whole one-man show, and it was based off like the central character was a DJ, and it would come back, and then I would go into these other characters. And so I just kept creating one-man shows, and I created longer shows. And so at this point, man, I think I got 15 full scripts created. 4 one-man shows that have like garnered, a lot of nice accolades and stuff like that. And I got published off of one of those one-man shows. And so that's kind of my moniker, to do shows, and I'll be vulnerable. And the first one was about my son, called My Child, My Alien Child. And just, dealing with being a father, being an artist, and being a black man in America. And, what am I giving this being that I'm now, have to care for? And so I wrote a whole show about him. And then and I had a daughter, so I wrote a show about her, and it's called Oh Snap, It's a Girl. But it's the other S word in there that we're not. So, and then I have one that's been getting a lot of attention called Oh Snap, My Alien Children Are Trying to Kill Me. So it's about the both of them.
That one. I remember actually.
Absolutely, man. And then the last piece that I completed was a piece called Echo of a Refugee. And it was a one-man piece dealing with the gentrification of Austin and how I literally was on 11th Street and was lost. Like I was driving down 11th Street and I was like, I didn't know where I was, because it looks so different now. And I literally had to pull over and was like, I thought I was on 11th. And I'm like, oh my God, what is all of this? So Just the way that our city, has been gentrified and turned over, and, same thing they did with the slaves when they took their land and made them cross over, into, where Rosewood is now, and that whole thing got developed. So yeah, man. So I'm always in my pieces. I'm always dealing with, the mistreatment of black people and the beauty of black people. I think that a lot of people, we get into the sadness of it, but that's what's so beautiful about being at school is that, I get to create these pieces and then watch these beautiful black and brown faces say these words, man. And it just does so much for the heart. So it's just a blessing to be here, man.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like, once again, we're glad you're on the team,
Most
as they say, and that's that's something I just really appreciate what you were saying here at Taking Empowerment, that the kids don't have to feel ashamed of being black.
Absolutely,
they don't.
Absolutely.
And one thing I'm happy about it. It's cool. It's amazing to me. Everybody come, especially during February. I think during the February time, I had to think, is we still February?
Yeah.
Because, black, they always they always want to ask us, questions is, why won't y'all do a Black History program, Black History program? And we like, for what?
Exactly.
Why? I mean, it's Black History. Don't you want to talk about, your culture, your heritage? And we like, do that every day.
Exactly.
We do that every day. What are you talking about? This is not a, what else, what benefit we getting out
no
of
doubt.
it, beside it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And that's something I'm very happy that we can do here, that we do here.
Absolutely.
And we go and continue to do here because of the way the culture and lies, and something that my kids coming here, and your kids,
absolutely,
daughter being here at one time, they can say that they are not afraid to be themselves.
100%, man. 100%, man. And I tell this really quick story. And it starts from the top down about Mr. Nyland, man, where a student came to my theater class. She was like, oh, I need to go take this math test. I'm like, okay, cool. Go do your test. He brought her back. And he's like, Mrs. Zell, she said she needs to go take this math test, but your class is just as important as that math class. So she need to be in here. And she need to figure out when she's going to take this math. And I was like, to hear like your superintendent, principal say that, man, it's like so empowering. It's like, okay, so arts are just as important.
No excuse
as everything else. We're on the same level, man. So the fact that he's giving these kids that, man, and it's just amazing as an artist to be in this environment. So absolutely.
Oh yes. So you said you kind of touched on a little bit when you start writing screenplays and things like that, and you got into that. So now let's kind of, I guess you can say we're gonna start with here in Texas Empowerment and everything. And one of the first show you written for was the Earth, Wind and Fire.
Absolutely.
We did, and you talked about abuse and things like that, and it was kind of like wow, and it was really cool. One of the first things I heard you say was really funny. It was straight too. It was like, and this one I knew the tone was set. Because I feel like at that time, that's when I feel like the team was set where it was perfect.
Absolutely.
Like, and I never heard this from, any, the other theater teachers and folks was here, was we get on stage and we was, usually myself or, at the time in Sade, we would introduce. But due to the fact it was your script, and be honest with you, at the time, I knew of the script, I, kind of did that, but, as you know, when you came in, it was kind of like crunch. That's why I said it was a crisis here.
No doubt, man.
So it was kind of more like, we leaning on faith on how this really going to go, we all had our role, and you just kind of just knew, okay, this is what I need to do, you threw in. And the cool thing you said that I was like, oh, okay, this is going to work. You get on stage, we're at the State Theater, you get on stage, and you got to think, we figured, who was going to talk about, the overnight, and you get up there, and first thing you say is, you walk in, and you say, the guy comes about the mic, and you say, I don't need the mic, I'm an actor, I can project my voice. And I was like, oh yeah, this is real. He fits in, because that's something we would say, and things like, the the confidence that, and it goes, if you anybody ever know knowledge, that's top bottom. If you don't have the confidence in what you do here, you're not gonna make it.
Absolutely.
Just call a spade a spade. You're not gonna make it.
No, you're not gonna make it, bro.
And when you said that, I was literally like, "Oh, we good." I don't even I do it about everything. And ever since I was like, "Yeah, we good now."
No doubt,
we good. I know that's probably like the craziest way, but it was good, like the confidence you had, and you knew that your product was good, and it was.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it wasn't, like I said, it was 8-9 years ago later.
Yep.
We're still here.
Still doing it.
And still getting everything together. And the kids enjoyed it. They learned something out of it. They learned something all of them. But on that one, it was to me because it was the first one.
Right.
You never forget your first one
doubt.
that you do.
No doubt.
It can be the worst one or the best one. It's your first one, But that's something that I was like, yeah. And I loved it, that the fact that it blended in what, it basically relates to what we deal with, not just only us as African Americans,
absolutely,
but just across the board.
Yeah.
And I loved about it.
Yeah, so. That's the whole thing, man, and that's what I just totally appreciate about being here is that we come with a message. We're not just about getting up there skinning and grinning, and I tell my actors all the time, it's like, this is the gift and the curse of Black people. With kids, no matter what you do, they're gonna stand up and applaud you. But you shouldn't be feeling good about all of those applause. So I want you, applause should be earned. So when you do your thing, I want you to feel like, yes, I worked to get here. And that's why I'm hard on you. And that's why I press you. And that's why I kick you out the room if you don't know your lines. And that's why I just walk up and take your script and say, sit down, and I put somebody else in your spot right away.
And to me, that's all about reality.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just learn how the real world produce.
Absolutely.
And if you got as I say, a jump start or a head start on how the real world is, you will make it.
100%, man.
It's amazing how a lot of, especially unfortunately us, we don't. Unfortunately, some of them don't even know when it happened until they graduate.
Exactly.
Graduate, and some that you took college or even getting their masters. They get there and they be like, well, I thought it was gonna be this. And I thought it was this. I mean. Just taking a small story of me, graduate from college, first thing you saying, I'm about to get a big job making $100,000, you know what I'm saying? They like, dude, you ain't got no experience.
Exactly.
We don't know how your work ethic is. And you expect, you know what I'm saying? And you guys, you sitting there like, but I got a degree.
Right.
What that mean?
Right.
What that mean?
100%.
Especially in the I would say in the arts department.
Oh,
area,
hell yeah.
It's definitely cutthroat.
No
and
doubt.
Like this, the one thing I'm seeing now. This been our first year of graduating seniors.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, I feel proud about the arts department actually putting them through the test where they've been through the ringer, and I feel like any of our students can go anywhere.
Yep.
And do it with no problem.
100%, man.
And that's something I love about what we bring to the table here at Texas Empowerment.
Yeah, because that's the beauty of the arts, man. And you may never touch a stage, you may never pick up an instrument, you may never put on another leotard, but what you got from that experience is confidence. You got how to problem solve. You got how to, when you're put in the spotlight, what you gonna do? You either gonna shrivel up, or you gonna step up. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what the kids get from the experience. You know, like again, man, like I said, they may never touch another stage again, but they know how to break down a speech with beats. From Mr. Zell, you know how to put slashes in there, and you know the subtext of what is happening, so that can take you on when you're looking at a passage. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So we teach them all kind of things. So absolutely.
Yeah, I like that about it. So now let's get into some other things. What's been going on in here at Texas Empowerment?
Yes.
Really, it's actually about something coming up. We have a movie,
no doubt,
coming up, written by yours truly.
I appreciate
my
it.
Left, my right. Yeah, I had to, look at the camera. Yeah, to my right.
Absolutely.
And you guys left. Okay, you want to talk about the movie? What gave you the idea and everything?
Absolutely, man. So the movie is called Leap of Faith.
Okay.
And it's a story of a group of friends. Something happens tragically, and how one Faith, her name is Faith, how she responds to it. And so what gave me the idea was, watching CNN and watching this black reporter who was reporting on Black Lives Matter in Minneapolis get arrested on national TV. Like, he literally said, like, here's my badge, and they hemmed this brother up and arrested him. And it was just blown away, man. And so the idea of Black Lives Matter, I think, again, we do it daily, so we don't think about it. You know what I mean? Black Lives, we don't need to put up no sign because of the education system that we work in. We know that Black Lives Matter. So I wanted to say something. And so when you came up with the idea, man, let's do a movie instead of our production, I was with it, man. So I wanted to create the story, and I wanted to say something. And so we touch on the energy of what was happening with the death of George Floyd. And so, and among many others, man, I think that people get stuck on that, but we could take it all the way back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could take it all the way back from when the first boat left the shores of Africa, headed towards America. You know what I mean? Of what has happened to black people. And so, I wanted young people to be able to say something about it. So we have a group of friends, and we have some parents, and we have the backdrop, is the pandemic also. So they're dealing with that in the piece. And we're talking about, we got a little political too, with what was happening in America.
Oh, yeah.
That America allowed to happen.
It's like blaming
because
yourself.
absolutely.
I always say blame yourselves, man.
So this is a young black girl's way of dealing with it. She deals with it through poetry. So Leap of Faith, man. It's a dope piece.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I kind of go back with it. The cool thing, like I said, having a good team here. When it came up, I don't think I was like, hey, we think we can figure out. To be honest with you, I was blowing smoke. If you really, just to let you know, it was kind of like one of them, during the pandemic, everybody want to know what we're going to do.
Right.
Because, I mean, nobody have never been in this situation.
Right, absolutely.
So, be honest with you, get around Nolin, Nolin rile you up with anything. Like I said, if you don't have the confidence in yourself here in Texas Empowerment, you're not going to make it.
No.
And he said some stuff, and I was like, man, whatever. I ain't worried about all that. Yada, yada, yada. So what you going to do? I was like, man, we're going to do a movie, man. Now, I ain't haven't talked to none of y'all. I haven't said anything. I'm just kind of, like I said, Yeah, we're gonna do it, man. It's gonna be here. It'll be cool. It ain't gonna be no rinky dink, low budget, yada yada yada. It's gonna be real too. You know what I mean? Dude, do you know we out? I man, please, I ain't worried about that. And lo and behold, he was like, yeah. And I had to start thinking, oh Lord, all right, what I put myself into. But I will say, the more and more I got into it, I started to learn a lot.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Like a lot. The difference between what the shows we put on, to actually what difference between shows and like Broadway. I guess you could say we were more on the Broadway. Kind of, you can say, going that way. They actually doing film,
right?
And just learning like the production of it. It's more production. It's
absolutely
more overdub. It's more like permit. Like how crazy it is. Like just learning a lot about budgeting, like a different type of budget stuff hitting your curve. But it was hectic, but I wouldn't take it from anything because I learned way more than I thought. And I feel like we were talking. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Of what's to come on what we have stored in next.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I'm cool with, and everything. So anyway, we got the movie sitting out and everything. So how did the casting go, or how did everything work on that?
I mean, yeah. So the first, once I got the story going, then I was able to create the script, and I learned a lot too. I'm not a script writer. I'm not a film script writer. Yeah. So I write for the stage. So my brother is writes for film, and so when I sent it to him, he's like, "Dude, you got these people talking too much." It's like, bro, you can't. That's a lot to be taught. Like, Tone, these words got to happen, dog. Yeah. And so, so then once we got that figured out, and then we just, we put it in the hands of the kids, man, and that's what makes the whole thing work. Like we can have brilliant ideas, but it's when these magical beings of these young people come in and they start making characterizations and asking you questions and start working it out and figuring out their lines and stuff like that, man. That's what made it really nice.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to spoil the movie because you got to watch the movie. Absolutely, by the way. Leap of Faith. Check it out. Coming to yours truly. I want to say, so name a time in the movie point where we was shooting or directing or just doing table reading. Like you said, it was a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't. We was just like we were basically winging it.
Yeah, absolutely.
At one point, we knew we had it. We had an idea.
Yeah. But
we really didn't know until we jumped in.
Yeah.
Can you name a point in time when you looked at it and you was like, "Oh, this is gonna work"?
Oh, absolutely. I think that it was the first time that we saw Jaden on screen, and Jaden Marshall is our featured actress. And the first time she said those words, man, I'm like, this is a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Jaden and watching Jared shoot his scene in front of the barbershop. And I was like, okay.
I remember that. Crazy thing about it, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little upset about that. I'm going to tell you the reason why. So we was shooting another film side in another location, and you got everybody packed up and left to go there. So I'm on my way to the field. Y'all left a little early. I was getting stuff. I was basically straightening things up at the last area where we was at, and I crank up my car. I literally get around the corner. You called me and said, "Oh, we're done," and I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" You're like, "Oh yeah, we done." He did it in one take. We're out.
Yeah, you Jay-Z'd it, man.
He Jay-Z'd it, and I ain't gonna lie, I was upset because I was like, I wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and that's and it was further let me know like how serious the kids took it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the students, I call them I say kid. I be trying to say student.
Yeah,
but I be saying kids.
They're our kids,
they
man.
my kids,
They're
man.
Our kids. That's what it is. Absolutely. They gonna always be our kids.
Exactly, man. They're just my kids. So when y'all see me saying it's not about disrespect. It's just man.
That's what it is.
They my kids. I treat them just like they were my kids.
Absolutely.
And the crazy thing is like I said, that showed me right there, like I was saying earlier, how dedicated they were to actually doing the movie. When you said, "Oh, he's done," and I'm like, "What? He can't be done." Like,
we talked them through it. I want you to come down here. We blocked it. I want you to come down these steps. This is what's up. This is what's going on. You know, they trying to take you. They trying to take, so the note was they're trying to come in and take your livelihood from your family. How you going to deal with it? And he just put his head down. I'm ready. I said, all right. Absolutely, man. And so we're working with Anthony Walker, man, who is filming it for us and editing it, and the brother, Mr. Anthony, I'm
Mr. Warner.
Mr. Warner. I like when I'm directing the plays, like kids know that I will have them do it again until I always tell them do it until I get tired, and I slept all night, so let's keep going. But Mr. Anthony be like, one more. Can we get one more? I'm like, bro, we good. That's the take.
Yeah,
that's the take, man.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Warner. Yeah,
Mr. Warner's amazing.
He came in like at the last minute and
absolutely
did his thing.
Absolutely. But I think that's beautiful because it's a group effort, right?
Yeah.
So Miss Tawana came in. She directed some scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We shot different things, and we were able to move really quickly.
Yeah.
The kids were very adaptive.
Oh, yeah.
So that was very helpful too. You know what I mean? And I want to go back, man, when you said what's the moment where you were like, okay, this is gonna work. Of course, Jaden's amazing, but Isaac. Isaac's piece.
Oh yes.
The first take he did, and I think me and you looked at each other.
We did.
And I was like, rap.
I was on the camera at the time, and I was like, man, I couldn't touch the camera because I was shaking.
Yeah.
And I didn't want the camera, y'all be like, bro, that was a good take. I had to stop, and I was just praying that he didn't move out of, the scene.
Yep.
Because I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
This
is
really good.
But then again, this kid's taking it serious. Like, I think I had 7 conversations with Isaac over the phone about that monologue. And he would just be like, Mr. Zell, I got to ask one more question. I'm like, you call me whenever you want.
See, and I love
talk it through, talking line by line. We went line by line. This is what that means. That's what he's saying. What do you think about that? What do you think? How would you feel about that? I think this, Mr. Zell. Okay, cool. Then how do you think it should come out? I think it should come out. Okay, cool. Okay, let's try it. Oh, you didn't like that? Okay, let's try it this way. Do this. Put your focus here. And it's like, so yeah, man. Once he did that monologue, yeah, we were good.
Oh yeah.
Even if it was just that monologue. If our whole movie was that monologue, we'd have been straight.
We'd been straight, man. Yeah, man. I was. Yeah, you. Matter of fact, there was a scene I was still thinking about. Maybe that's the reason why I was late, because I was literally getting in the car thinking about that scene, going over to the next one.
No doubt, man.
And you were not lying about that, man. That was really, really good about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, we got the scene. We got that. What do you see in your future? Actually now about the movie. Quite naturally, we setting everything up now, trying to make sure we meet the release date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We might have to push it back, but this the cool thing about one thing I did learn about doing films compared to as the stage is. Man, you can put it out when you want to put it out.
No doubt.
You ain't gotta wait. You don't have to actually set on the day.
Absolutely.
You can make sure you get everything in order before we can, get there. I think that's a cool thing about it. 'Cause I always say keep one. Unfortunately, the way they say keep one in the chamber.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Like say, yeah, we got it. So when we need it, we good.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about a little bit about you dealing with the COVID situation, the pandemic. You know how what is Zell doing now? Because what happened during the pandemic. What is Zell doing?
So I'm actually taking a page from the school, man. So as I'm a stage performer, but I'm filming things and putting them together, and trying to figure out how to do a multimedia performance based off that. So and still writing, trying to plan readings of pieces. But yeah, that's the main thing, man. I got awarded some money from organization that is has something called Black Art Matters, and so I'm working on a piece. Just finished it up. Just working with a couple of friends, and so getting some things filmed and edited. That's not my wheelhouse, man. You know what I mean? And so I feel like as the creator, you know what I mean? Like as the director, I have a certain amount of control. But, it's like, hey, I need you to edit this.
Oh, man. You talking about...
Woo!
Man, I'm learning that stuff on the...
So...
I pray for you, brother.
Oh, thank you, man. But I think it's just reimagining, like we all have to do, what does live performance look like? What is live performance going to be like going forward? And how much of it is actually live? Yeah. There's been a couple of theater companies here who have done things like in the drive-in type of way, where they did it to where you can be in your car and go to a certain dial on your radio, and then you can hear the people and you see them on a stage. But I'm just not digging out. I don't want to be outside, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about walking into a theater and sitting down in a theater and having a shared experience once those doors go closed. And I think that's what I appreciate about live theater, because the work that I do is very challenging. And so and hip hop is all through my work. So when I do a piece, I have these people come in and they're not in the club. So you don't have to worry about somebody, all crazy happens in the club, but you are here, and you have to have a shared experience about something that is going on, that has been going on in America with the way black people are treated. And now you have to, those doors open, and now what do you take with that? So there's something about that I truly, truly miss, as opposed to like, well, I can just pop it up on YouTube and then I can pause it, you know what I mean? And not come back to it. So we're just trying to reimagine that, man. But I am dying to get back in front of people and perform. It's just something about that live experience. And when you're doing it live, something can happen. You can forget a line. You know what I mean? Or you can add a line, or, just that. There's something about it that's just magical, man. And so I'm really, really missing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Understand it. So I guess this lost my oh, there you go. I almost lost my my question about it. So we've seen Zell, you're doing your screenwriting, you're doing your plays and all that stuff right there. Now here goes some quick topics and things like that, kind of off on the thing. What do Zell like to do when he's not doing theater?
That's what's up, man. I'm a family dude, man. I have an amazing wife named Ashley.
Shout out
to Ashley, man. I'm so blessed. And I have a daughter named Blaze. I have a son named Zell, the fourth. And so we do a lot of family stuff, man. We got 2 dogs.
Down to the fourth?
He's the fourth, man.
So, oh, man, that's cool. You continue.
Absolutely. So we have 2 dogs, and we do a lot of family stuff. Of course, it's been, with the pandemic, that's been big too, man, because our whole thing was going to the movies, every Saturday morning. We hit up the movie theater. And so trying to reimagine that, you know what I mean?
The movies at the house.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And so how you gonna see, Godzilla versus King Kong? We do got I ain't trying to front. We got a pretty big TV, but it ain't.
It ain't no
you know what I
movie
mean?
TV.
We want to see Godzilla and Kong get it on, man. You know what I mean? And again, it's that shared experience of the ooh, you know what I mean? But what I like to do, man, to be honest with you, man, I write. But what I really like to do, man, 100% is play Madden 21 on PlayStation 4. I love doing fantasy drafts. Like right now, I'm running with the Washington football team, and my quarterback is what's my man that plays for my man that plays for the Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Murray.
Murray's my quarterback. I got Saquon as my running back. So I did a fantasy draft. I got Julio Jones as my wide receiver.
Oh, man, you got a squad there, man.
I got squad, man.
What defense you got?
I got a whole bunch of people out there, man. So I got Ndamukong Kansu.
Oh, he has
that's
good
my
years.
defense. That's my guy, man. And but and then I got so I got a bunch of no names on my defense, man. But we third in the league. You know what I mean?
That's all that matter. Get no points, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. My family, my family has a football league, fantasy football league that we do every year.
That's what's
and
up.
We kind of made it a dynasty where it keeps
Oh,
going over and over.
that's
we have a trophy and everything.
That's what's up, man.
I won it once.
Okay.
Out of like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's you talking about trash talking.
There you go.
You don't want to lose against your family. You know how family is.
Dude, we got into one, and then we needed one more person. So I was like, Ashley, just jump in. And Ashley, like, she's a sports fan. Shannon's in depth, but she's sports. Ashley won. She won the league, dude.
And that's to be
and
the
I
worst.
was upset, dog. I was. And so every now and then she won't let it go. She'll ask me something, and I'll be like, I don't know, babe. She's like, well, don't you think that they should do this? I'm like, no, they wouldn't do that because they were in a 3-4. And she's like, well, what do I know? I just won the fantasy league. You know? That's all I know. Right there. So, but it's good, man. It's good. I play a lot of fantasy. Yeah, man. I usually go crazy, man. I'll have like 6 teams.
Yeah.
So Tuesday morning, I'm out there drafting like.
So,
but I love football, man, and I love football. I love watching basketball. Yeah, cooking. I'm a big cook. I hook it up. Oh man, I hook it up, bro.
So you can actually cook.
I can cook it up.
So here's the deal,
no
man.
doubt.
Texas Empowerment. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have some type of tournament or something.
Yes.
Because everybody know, if you know here, Nolan, that's what he
Nolan, Bowden.
That's all they.
Yes,
everybody
sir.
just want to talk about what they can cook and
Yes,
what
sir.
they do.
Yes, sir.
And it's time to, I feel like it's time to put everybody.
We need to put it on, man, because I got some bacon wrap chicken wings. Slap your mama good, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Time out. Stop. You might have to cut the camera off. All right. You just said bacon wrap.
Chicken wings. Yes, sir. Caribbean. Put that Caribbean marinade on it.
They don't even hear you over there. Bacon wrapped chicken wings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, man. You said something that I know this is totally off what we was going. I know I forgot my next question now. I'm thinking of bacon wrapped chicken wings.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you doing this. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, you might have to ask me a question right now because I'm just thinking about bacon wrapped chicken wings. That just sounds
It's delicious, man. I'm gonna hook you up. I'll hook you up.
Oh, okay.
I'm
not playing too, man.
I'll hook you up. Now, for real.
Don't be surprised. You see,
I'll hook you up, man. And then my wife is she's starting a business. She's starting a baking business. So it's called Tony's Treats, named after her grandmother.
Okay.
And I need to bring some cookies up here, man.
All right.
She makes some cookies big as your face with chocolate chip and toffee pieces. She make a red velvet cake. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Italian cream cake. I have a video I'm gonna show you on YouTube the first time she made her Italian cream cake, and I had to taste it live. So,
so it's real. It's real in these streets.
It's for real, man.
That'll work.
It's for real. But I'm blessed, dude. I'm so blessed to have an amazing family, and be able to come to this place every day. So I appreciate you, man, because I know you work behind the scenes to get a brother back, man. So thank you, brother.
No problem, man. No problem.
Not that I was ever gone, because I've never left the payroll for 9 years. My position moved around.
Same hell with me, man. I tell people all the time, man, once you become Texas Empowerment, man, you are here forever.
Most definitely.
There's no such thing as quitting Texas Empowerment. I don't care how long you left when you come back. Think about it. Like I tell people, man, I left for 2 years. This dude never even take my key.
Yeah.
I gave it back. He was like, for what?
Exactly.
And it was funny. Every time I came back, I was in here doing something.
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't even like I wanted. I just when I got back off the plane, spend a little time with the family. Like, wife like, where you about to go? I gotta go Texas Empowerment to check out this thing. What you gotta do there? I don't know. I feel. And lo and behold, I came back between even shows, so I ended up playing
That's
in
right.
the house band.
That's right.
Or doing. I'm like, so I know what you mean, man.
Absolutely,
Get
man.
together, man.
Absolutely. Now I appreciate Mr. Nolan so much, man. When I gave the brother my notice, he looked at it and he looked at me. He looked at it. And he was like, okay. And I was like, so I can still do after school. He was like, you ain't going nowhere, Zell. He was like, you ain't going nowhere, brother. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, he was messing with Willie. When my brother put out his 2 week his notice, he gave it to, and it's funny. My brother laughs about this to this day. He said, You know what Zell Nala said to me? He said, "What?" He said, "I don't think this means I can get you on a cheaper price because it's for free." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It startled me." And Lord behold, Willie had been here more than he had when he been working.
No doubt, man.
So yeah, I know like their love and their family they here, man.
Yeah.
We argue, we fight, but it's like you just it's family, like you said, it's just family.
Well, I think at the end of the day, man, again, top down, it's about giving children the best education and the best experience possible. So at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. And that's top down. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen, this superintendent principal do some amazing things, man, that I don't think anybody else will do for their schools. So, and when you see your superintendent principal do that
and teaching,
so you like,
there's no excuse on your
and
end.
I love when I go to him and I'm like, he just looks at me and he's like, that's why you hired.
Yeah, he don't. Yeah, case closed. What?
I love, man, when we did the Black Panther show, man.
Oh,
I told him, I said, I think I went too far. I need you to come look at it. And he said, what you mean? I said, I think.
I know.
I think I went. Can you come look at it? He said, well, if you think you went too far, I don't need to see it. And I said, all right. And he said, it's about the Black Panther, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, how you gonna go too far?
Exactly. Dude, it's a lot.
Here we go. Here we go then. Here we go, brother.
Yeah, I've had them stories with him as well where I kind of sit there like, and he like, no.
Yep.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I definitely understand. I've had those moments. You driving back like, but, and the whole time he ain't even worried about it.
Exactly.
And the crazy thing about it, when you mentioned it, I would say I had to put that as one of our top shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Top shows when we talked about the Black Panther.
Absolutely.
He actually called me about that. Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you come back. You know what I'm talking about. I had them folks there, man. He was calling me. I said, man, appreciate it. He called me about like 8 in the morning.
No
man.
doubt.
And everybody know me. I don't do mornings. So when he called me about that, I knew it was real. Like,
that's what's up, man.
So, but yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Anyway, man, I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be out of here. You know, so I know you got things you got to get done and stuff like that. Now, where do you see Texas empowerment in the future? And even Zell, what do you see?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm blessed to my new position is college and career coordinator. So in the future, man, I see that program just expanding and growing. We want to get into not only doing dual credit, but we also want to work with these young people who have been, had doors shut on them. We want to do GED programming. We want to do job programming. We want to do internships. We want to do partnerships. We want to make sure that college and career, and that's why we call it college and career. I know some people want to say college and workforce or college and whatever. Me and Ms. Nolan have said we want to call it college and career because we feel like they're both on the same track. College is not for everybody, man. Not everybody wants to go to college. You know what I mean? And so we want to make sure that when a student leaves here, that they have a track to go on to. So it's that he calls it his W. Du Bois, you know what I mean, and George Washington Carver tracks, you know what I mean. So you can go work, you know what I mean, right into a career, or you can continue to be educated, man. So that's what I see going forward. So we're laying the bricks for that. And
I gotta get Miss Chaz on here for that. Man,
most def, man.
Chaz, you come. I'm letting you know this right now. Don't give me all that what
def,
you been. No, you getting on here. Cause that's what we gonna go and base.
Oh, most def, man. So we're really pushing that, and then I just see the school expanding and growing, man, and to where we got not only do we have the amazing fine arts department going on, we got a top quality sports program going on, and that our young people, if they want it, they are getting scholarships in the arts, whether it be band or theater or dance or even visual arts, man. Well, we're on the same level with some of the schools here in Austin that get a lot of money, but nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we're on that track, man, and that when a student comes here in pre-K, that every single year they are built to step out as a senior with a distinguished high school diploma and either a certification for going into their career or stepping into that college as a sophomore, where all of their basics are done and they go right into their core classes and become successful. And the main thing is coming back. So first thing I want to do with the graduating seniors is next December we have a luncheon where they come in, they talk to the juniors about their experience with college, and we gonna keep linking it up, man. Linking it up, you know what I mean, and giving back. So that's how we get it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Most def. And for me, I'm gonna continue to be an artist, to challenge the ideas and images of my people, and force people to break those paradigms and understand that just like you, we're human, and we are three-sided. We're not one-dimensional, and just show the beauty of being a black person in America, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Most def.
That would definitely work. Well, we're gonna definitely do a part 2 of this. Cause know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do a little more on the movie. I think I'm gonna bring we gotta get the actors.
Oh hell yes.
We're gonna definitely get them in here to do like a round table.
That would
they
be
talk
dope.
about their experience about it. So that's actually coming up sometime soon.
I'm with it, man.
And when that happens, we'd love to make sure you're there.
Most def.
Have that. And like I said, we're not gonna keep you long.
That's what's up.
And man, once again, thank you so much.
Man, thank you for having me.
For coming, and man, this is also where they can check you out at.
Man, see, oh man, my wife's because my wife's my manager. I don't know any of my social media stuff, but
why?
I will send it to you.
Just like me.
I know, dude. I'm like, she's like, Zell. So I know that I have an Instagram.
How about this? I know the best way to do it.
I will get it back to you.
I got it. Google Zell Miller
there you go.
Austin, Texas.
There you
it
go.
Worked. Trust me. I did it. I think at one time I had to get some information from you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get, and I did it, and it worked.
Make sure you put the third, otherwise you're gonna get the crazy senator brother, senator man from Georgia.
Yeah. Like I said, notice I said Zell Miller the third.
Yes.
Austin, Texas.
Absolutely.
He's gonna come up.
Absolutely.
He's gonna the first one to come up, and all like 2 or 3 bios came up, and I promise you can get him. You can catch him up there. You can also call Texas Empowerment Academy.
There you go, man,
and get him as well. And then with that, he might be cooking some, bacon wrap.
I'm gonna hook y'all brothers up. Nah, I'm gonna do it, man.
Like that.
I'm gonna hook it up.
If he's doing that, you got to catch him a little. Give him 30 to an hour, cause we got to get that ready. Then he can get with you. But yeah, you can catch him there, man.
Yes, sir, man.
But yeah, we're gonna let you go, man.
Most
you can do everything. This has been another episode of Panther Talk. Peace.
Peace.